everyone, it's a continuation of where we left off with Wonder. How I came to life. I like when Mum tells this story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mum tells it, V and I just start cracking up. So, when I was in Mum's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mum had had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park, Mum's expression, that there was no reason to run any special tests. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realised there was something wrong with my face, but they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mum and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. There were 2 nurses in the delivery room that night I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mum said, did not seem at all nice or sweet. She had very big arms. Here comes the funny part. She kept farting. Like she'd bring Mum some ice chips and then fart. Then she'd check Mum's blood pressure and fart. Mum said it was unbelievable because the nurse never even said, "Excuse me." Meanwhile, Mum's regular doctor wasn't on duty that night, so Mum got stuck with this cranky kid doctor she and Dad nicknamed Doogie after some old TV show or something. They didn't actually call him that to his face. But Mum says that even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came out of Mum's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mum didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nice nurse immediately rushed me out of the room. Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the video camera, which broke into a million pieces. And then Mum got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going, but the farting nurse put her very big arms on Mum to keep her down in the bed. They were practically fighting because Mum was hysterical and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm, and then they both started screaming for the doctor. But guess what? He had fainted right on the floor. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing him with her foot to get him to wake up, yelling at him the whole time. "What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you? Get up, get up." And then all of a sudden she let out the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of farts. Mum thinks it was actually the fart that finally woke the doctor up. Anyway, when Mum tells this story, she acts out all the parts, including the farting noises, and it is so funny. Mum says the farting nurse turned out to be a very nice woman. She stayed with Mum the whole time, didn't leave her side even after Dad came back and the doctors told them how sick I was. Mum remembers exactly what the nurse whispered in her ear when the doctor told her I probably wouldn't live through the night. "Everyone born of God overcometh the world." And the next day, after I had lived through the night, it was that nurse who held Mum's hand when they brought her to meet me for the very first time. Mum says by then they had told her all about me. She'd been preparing herself for the seeing of me, but she says that when she looked down into my tiny mushed up face for the first time, all she could see was how pretty my eyes were. Mum is beautiful, by the way, and Dad is handsome. Via is pretty, in case you were wondering. Next chapter, Christopher's house. I was really bummed when Christopher moved away 3 years ago. We were both around 7 then. We used to spend hours playing with our Star Wars action figures and dueling with our lightsabers. I miss that. Last spring we drove over to Christopher's house in Bridgeport. Me and Christopher were looking for snacks in the kitchen and I heard Mum talking to Lisa, Christopher's mum, about my going to school in the fall. I had never ever heard her mention school before. "What are you talking about?" I said. Mum looked surprised, like she hadn't meant for me to hear. "You should tell me what you've been thinking, Isabel," Dad said. He was on the other side of the living room talking to Christopher's dad. "We should talk about this later," said Mum. "No, I want to talk about what you were talking about now," I answered. "Don't you think you're ready for school, Augie?" Mum said. "No," I said. "I don't either," said Dad. "Then that's it, case closed," I said, shrugging, and I sat in her lap like I was a baby. "I just think you need to learn more than I can teach you," Mum said. "I mean, come on, Augie, you know how bad I am at fractions." "What school?" I said. I felt already like crying. "Beecher Prep, right by us." "Well, that's a great school, Augie," said Lisa, patting my knee. "Why not Via's school?" I said. "That's too big," Mum answered. "I don't think that would be a good fit for you." "I don't want to," I said. I admit, I made my voice sound a little babyish. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to do," Dad said, coming over and lifting me out of Mum's lap. He carried me over to sit on his lap and the other side of the sofa. "We won't make you do anything you don't want to do. But it would be good for him, Nate," Mum said. "Not if he doesn't want to," answered Dad, looking at me. "Not if he's not ready." I saw Mum look at Lisa, who reached over and squeezed her hand. You guys will figure it out, she said to Mum. You always have. Let's just talk about it later, said Mum. I could tell she and Dad were going to get in a fight about it. I wanted Dad to win the fight, though a part of me knew Mum was right. And the truth of it, she really was terrible at fractions. That's it for today, guys.